Today's episode is brought to you by Riverside. We've been using Riverside to record all of our conversations with our creator guests remotely. Remote recordings can be really stressful if you or your guests don't have the best internet connection. But Riverside is able to keep high quality video and audio no matter what your Wi-Fi is like, thanks to its local recordings. This has made the whole process stress-free and more fun. If you want a high quality recording studio at your fingertips, visit the link in the show notes and use the code Passionfroot 2022 to get 15% off any Riverside membership plan. And now let's get back on air with our creators.
It doesn't matter if you've got, a really high class master's degree or you haven't even done your GCSEs yet. It doesn't matter, because what matters is that you're just one step ahead. You have that little bit of knowledge.
Noah is a TikTok creator with 1.8 million followers. He's earning a full-time income and he's still in school. Hey, I'm Akta, and in today's episode of Creators on Air, we speak to Noah about his strategy to grow online and build his business.
I've been creating on TikTok for just over 2 years now. I started back in 2020 and I got into TikTok when it was, in the middle of lockdown, and I was just trying out different side hustles, because back then I was in like overdraft in my bank account. So I needed to start making some money. I was getting into sort of the money making scene. And then I decided to document that on TikTok. I'd always been creating videos for a while, creating videos on YouTube, kind of just for fun, just because I always enjoyed creating videos. But then I think my third TikTok video got 1,000 views in an hour. And that's when it clicked for me that the power of short form content is crazy, especially like when you can get views in such a short amount of time. And I kept on going from there. Long story short, I figured out what works, how to grow your following, what works to make a short form content video really blow up. And within about a year, just over a year maybe, I managed to get 1 million followers on TikTok. There were some days I grew like 100,000 followers in a day. And now I've got to a point where I'm 17, I'm still in college, but I'm, making, we'll talk about it later, but I'm literally making a full-time income already. So I'm really happy, and, it's what I've always wanted to do, be a creator on social media.
So I'd love to know what you actually learned about short form content and how to make it kind of go viral.
Yeah, so with regards to short form content, the key is, for me, I find, I'm in a niche where I educate people, and you can be in a niche where, you make comedy videos or skits. But for me, it's teaching what school doesn't. So that's stuff to do with money, finance, investing, and general tips to get ahead in life. And I have to merge two things. I have to keep it both entertaining and informative. I've got to give loads of information as well. And the way you need to do that is by including as much information as you can in as short amount of time as possible. You want to get just the most important bits and put them into the video, but do it in a fun, engaging way. Now, there are a few ways to really target your video to make sure you get the best reach. Firstly, you've got to cut out anything that isn't interesting. When people load up a TikTok video, you've literally got 2 seconds to engage them. Otherwise, they're just going to scroll. You've got to make your video different. You've got to get a really good hook and hook them in. Then you've got to take them on a journey that keeps them engaged. So don't let there be a second of silence. Make it fun, active, engaging. It's different to a YouTube video in the sense that you've got longer in a YouTube video. You can, take the audience on more of a journey. Here, you've got to be more engaged, more, high energy. And to be honest, most of my videos are only 20 to 30 seconds because that's the sweet spot. That's how you get, the best watch time on TikTok. So really the skill is just including as much as you can in a short amount of time as possible. So I'll create a script. Often I'll do kind of like skits. So I'll have one person talking and then another person talking. I'll write out a script for that, and then I'll see how much can I shorten this down by. Only include the essential information. If you were to start a TikTok saying, hey guys, it's Noah here. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about, instantly you've just ruined your video. You need to get straight into the action, instantly present a problem, then go into, a bit of resolution, maybe a bit of comedy, and then at the end, give the answer, give something that people have been waiting that whole video to find out, Plus, if you can make it so people will watch the video again and again, you're going to do really well. A way to do that could be adding different Easter eggs in. I call them Easter eggs because these are things that you put in your video that make people stop and stare and they think, oh, what's going on? So you'll see in a lot of my videos, I might have one of my characters that I do in my skits reading a really random book. For example, I've had one of my characters read a Peppa Pig book. It's really random, it's out of the ordinary, but it makes people comment, which as well is really important for the algorithm. If you get the comments, it's going to drive up your video's engagement. But yeah, it makes people watch again thinking, wait, what did I just see? So little things like that, little wigs, little fun things that you do in your videos can make people watch for longer. But at the end of the day, it's all about, do people watch the video the whole way through? And would someone stop and, watch the video for the whole time? If you can do that, you're going to be on a winner.
Well, I love how structured you are, even with TikToks. I don't know why. I've never really thought of TikToks as being something that you script and plan. What do you think makes a good hook for people to want to not scroll to the next video?
Oh, what makes a good hook? Keeping it simple but engaging. So, for example, in a lot of my videos, there'll be conversations, and I'll start it like mid-conversation. I won't say how to get a job as a teenager. I might start it saying, Dad, I've got no money, I need a job. Or, I might not say, this is how you make money as a teenager. I'd go, I've just run out of money, what am I going to do? Instantly, I've just put someone into a conversation. And when you make it a conversational style video, now not all my videos anymore are conversational. Back in the early days, all of them were conversation videos because it makes people feel like they're eavesdropping in on a conversation when you do a kind of conversation video. And if you don't know, if listeners listening now don't understand conversation videos, look up the videos by Mark Tilbury on TikTok. He was the first guy to really get into it. Humphrey Talks and my channel as well, Noah Brierley on TikTok, and you'll see what these conversation videos are like. But as well, you can do a good hook just with a normal video. For example, I did a video recently about vaping and the health risks associated with it and when you're legally allowed to vape. And I started the video by shoving a vape in front of the camera and saying, vaping, everyone at school seems to be doing it. Instantly, you're thinking, okay, what's he going to say about vaping? And then I go, but what age can you legally vape? That high energy introduction is really going to get people going. So you just got to be enthusiastic. You got to make it fun, and really present a problem. Present something at the start that people want to find a solution to. If you can create that problem early on in the video, they're going to want to stay to the solution.
Yeah, definitely. That sounds great. And you've already got so much energy. Even just talking to you now, I can feel your energy coming through the screen. I find it really interesting that your whole kind of like tagline is what school doesn't teach you, yet you're 17 years old. Like, that's crazy to me. How have you learned so much outside of school? And like, how do you feel talking to people who are your age about things like this?
Yeah. So with regards to social media, the key is you just need to be one step ahead. If you show that willingness to learn, it doesn't matter if you've got, a really high class master's degree or you haven't even done your GCSEs yet. It doesn't matter, because what matters is that you're just one step ahead. You have that little bit of knowledge. And if you're constantly educating yourself, stuff in society is always changing. And, often nowadays it goes back to the old saying that the youth actually know quite a lot that older people don't know anymore. And it's come to kind of part of my job now where I teach older people in businesses how to do TikTok. I consult, I make videos for them because they're going to the younger generation now about their expertise. But the key is, don't let the fact that you're not an expert hold you back, because really, I'm not an expert with money, but I have educated myself. I have looked into it. There are tons of people on TikTok that know way more about money. They're financial advisors. All of my stuff, none of it's financial advice. It's just suggestions, tips, hints. But really, yeah. I know enough about the algorithm that means, I'm able to do 10 times better than someone that might have 10 times more knowledge than me. The key is being able to understand the algorithm and present stuff to your target audience in a way that will appeal to them. And I think, a lot of the stuff that I talk about as well is ways to get ahead in life. And some of that stuff is aimed towards younger people. I might talk about, when can you legally vape? All right, that's one that people want to know. But what are the health risks involved with vaping? Or when can you get a car? How do you get a car? People sometimes do prefer to hear it from someone who's their own age, who can relate to them. Always think about with social media, everyone has a USP, a unique selling point that can make them different. For example, I'm friends with a guy called Mark Tilbury. He's got like 7 million followers on TikTok, and he's killing it, right? His USP is the fact that he's an older guy. He's like nearly 60 probably, and for him, it's his expertise. He's been in the game for a long time now. So that's his USP. It makes people stop. For me, it's that I'm young, so I play that to my advantage. Everyone has an unfair advantage. That's what you call it. Use your unfair advantage, get out there and present your unfair advantage on social media.
No, I love that. I love how you've made your age your unfair advantage. And it just goes to show how accessible social media is for everyone as well, and how you can overcome imposter syndrome to do amazing things. I'm really interested, what was the reaction of your friends, your teachers, and even your parents of you blowing up on TikTok?
Yeah, so it's been interesting in the fact that my parents at first, when I started creating TikTok, I don't really know what they thought, especially when I hadn't really had much success. They themselves are not really entrepreneurs in the way that I'm an entrepreneur. For me, my social media is like a business for me. As much as I enjoy it, it's a business. The best thing is it's a business that I enjoy. And I think they saw that, I was doing something that, it fulfills me. Even if I didn't make money through social media, I'd probably still be making videos because that's what I've done from an early age and I've continued to do all my life. I think when I started actually making money from it, they began to take it more seriously like a career. Before I actually had the results, I don't think they really took it more as a career. They saw it more as a side thing that I did. But as soon as like proper opportunities came out from it, they realized times are changing now, and the jobs that exist today will be completely different in 10 years, 15 years, 20 years time. Jobs of tomorrow do not exist today. And, the world is changing so much now. We'll probably get into it later, but my plan isn't to go to university now, is to continue doing what I'm doing. I've got a longer term game plan. So once I started making money, I think that's when they realized, maybe I'm not the type of guy that uni would be suited for. It's actually time for me to just go out into the world and do what I do.
Absolutely. You've got so many opportunities to grab hold of right now. Let's talk about money since you've already brought it up. At what point were you starting to make money on TikTok?
Literally straight away. Anyone can really make money straight away on TikTok. When you're not able to get the brand deals straight away, look into different affiliate marketing things. I started with a company called Curve Card. It was a card that I've been using for a while, and I noticed on their app they had a affiliate thing where for every person I got to get a Curve Card, they got £5 for free, and I got £5 for free. So I signed up some people from a video. I think in total I probably made like £500, and at the time I was maybe 15 or 16. For me, that was crazy money. It was awesome. On the app, I just kept on getting referrals every day from, 1 or 2 videos that I made. That paid me for a very, very long time after, and just passive income, because the videos did well. So really it's all about, early on, you can just do things through affiliates. I did get a brand deal probably when I was on about 2,000 followers, but it was only, I think I got about £20 from it. So, now it's a completely different game. But I was glad I took it because, I learned from it. But yeah, early on it was like pocket money here and there. I never really did it to make money. I did it because I enjoyed it, and I saw the reach I was getting. But yeah, so that's when I started making money. But then I think the real money came in when I actually, quote unquote, blew up. There was a month where my following went from about maybe 50,000 followers to couple 100,000, and that's when brands started reaching out, and even when I got to a million followers, the thought in my mind wasn't, oh, I'm gonna make a ton of money now. The thought was, oh, this is great, I've got a million followers. I didn't expect that when you get to a certain level, brands are just going to reach out to you. But again, there are so many opportunities, particularly with short form content now. People and brands do sometimes like having the smaller creator make videos for them, especially with something called user generated content, which is a way that anyone can get into making short form videos. User generated content is where, you can go to a shop, pick an item off the shelf and make a video with it. You can send that to the company and say, hey, I made this video about your product. Would you like to buy the licensing from me? You can run that as a social media ad. And, if you do it to enough companies and you build up a portfolio, build up a media kit, even before you've got a substantial following of a couple 100,000 followers, you can still be making a good amount through just user-generated content. I do user-generated content now. That is really where I'll create a video for a brand and they'll use that through their advertising on their own social media page, but it won't go onto my page. And that's another great way to make money before you've even done anything like that. So there's so many ways. If you put your mind to it, you will be able to make ways, and just don't be afraid to email companies. Some of my biggest deals I've landed have been just through emailing a company, being consistent with it. There's money out there to be made, and the amount of money now that they're investing into the creator economy, particularly companies with substantial marketing budgets, is crazy. There's not a lot of guidance around how much to price short form content. So some companies will rip you off, but some companies have absolute budget to spend.
Would you be happy sharing exact figures? So especially comparing sponsored ads to user-generated videos, like what are the different amounts that you're charging brands?
So when you charge brands, you have to consider many factors. Early on, I very much underpriced my content. But then again, you build up the repertoire of different companies you've worked with. And essentially what I'm doing is I'm getting them results. I'm getting them views, I'm getting them signups, and there's many things that they're buying off you. It could be the exclusivity. Oh, you're only going to talk about this stock app or this bank, and you're not allowed to talk about any others. That's very expensive because the exclusivity, that limits you. So you've got to really, really believe with it in this company before you do anything like that. So that's kind of one thing to consider. And then you want to think about advertising rights. So they're going to put this as a paid ad on their own platform. Are they just going to want this just on my page? So those are the things that I consider when it comes to that. And yeah, so the money through brand deals has been pretty good, to be fair. I can't complain. Every month is different when it comes to making money through brand deals, which is the main way that I make money. But I do affiliate as well. And, that still earns me a good amount too. But, every month is different. So, yeah.
So what's been a recent high paying month for you? And what's that consisted of?
It's interesting. Yeah. So some months, and this is just what it's like when you're self-employed and you're a content creator, I will literally make no money, genuinely no money. Yeah, every month is different, because it's just the way things work. And you'll find a lot of companies, you don't realize this, but they actually take 2 months to pay after the video's launched. And even then, companies are so late at paying. So, I might secure a load of brand deals 1 month, but I might not actually get paid till 3 months later, because it might take, it depends on the company. Some companies I work with will pay me even before I've done the video. Some will pay me 3 months after, because it's a month to get it out, because they're really picky about what goes in the video. And then once that video's out, then they're going to pay me 2 months after that. So it really varies. And I can never quite predict how a month's going to go. I've had 5-figure months, and I've had months probably where I've lost money because, I'm investing in gear, I'm investing in stuff for my business, and I'm not making as much money. The key is I've still got those big months to support me. But overall, I'm in the plus. I'm making money, but it's the thing to consider. Some months you won't make any money. Some months you're gonna make loads of money. But I do try and supplement the months when I don't have as much of the brand deal money coming in, even though I've got them in the works, where I'll put out a few affiliate things. And it's always nice to have those affiliate things that I can go back to. I work with a few companies on affiliate deals, and I'm working on more in the future. Some such as, the classics, you've got your Audibles or Amazon stuff, but as well, Morning Brew It's a newsletter which you can sign up to, all about business. So that's one that I promote as well. I believe in it. I read it every day, and they pay per email that you can give them.
Amazing. And so you're suddenly earning loads of money for a 17-year-old. How did you navigate kind of the business and financial aspects of being a creator? Considering you've never done anything like this before, how have you suddenly learned how to do all of these things?
Well, I think really life is about putting yourself in uncomfortable situations. I never really thought, oh, how am I going to manage all this? Even with everything, with emails, with managing money, you just got to go in with these things like pretend you know what you're doing. You probably don't. I'd say just for anyone, just when you start making money, put money aside, because you need money for taxes. Try and get an accountant or something like that. And start reinvesting a lot of your money back into your business. I found that worked very well with TikTok. I recently just got this new setup. It was a big financial cost, but I feel like the outcome of that is going to be 10 times greater, if not more. So yeah, put money away. I'd say earlier on you want to be reinvesting. Get your content kind of to a level where you're happy. So now I've got this nice setup. I'm happy, and then you can start, putting your income in different places as well. Like I could go into budgeting because it's what I talk about a lot. You need an emergency fund and all stuff like that. But also just have some money aside, just because like me, I might go 2 months without making any money. So don't go and spend it all crazy. You've got to, like, particularly early on when I wasn't earning too much money, I'd like spend a load of it and not have much money left at the end of the month. That was like very early on. Now it's fine. But yeah, you learn.
No, that's smart. And what about negotiating? How have you...
I'm still learning.
You're still learning, but are you quite confident with negotiating with brands, or is it something you've had to get more confident about doing?
Yeah. Negotiating with brands is crazy because some brands have loads of money, but they never tell you that. And unless you really push back, they're not gonna give you that money. So the key is with negotiating, ask for a price that you're uncomfortable with asking. If you're not asking for the price that you're uncomfortable with asking, then you're not asking for enough. Time and time again, creators will devalue what they're worth. Never devalue what you're worth. Always try and charge more than you think you can get. Because a lot of the time, particularly early on, I didn't know how much I could get. And particularly when I consider, I work with a lot of financial companies. And for a financial company, one person signed up to their service is often increases their company worth by around $1,000 or $500 between that mark. So, if I'm getting, let's say I have a really good video and it gets 1,000 signups, that's $100,000 potentially they've increased their net worth by. So, you can do the maths and think actually it is actually quite powerful, the form of the way that you can do marketing on TikTok. I've got a mate, he made a video talking about a company and he wasn't even sponsored. And this video went mega viral. The company that night when the video came out saw the amount of signups they got, which was unprecedented. It increased it by the whole company's net worth by multiple millions. And that was from one TikTok video. So the potential that you can do with TikTok is crazy.
That's insane. I can't believe that. You guys are just killing TikTok. I need to get onto TikTok ASAP. That's amazing. What other business advice would you give to other creators starting out? Do you think that you should start off as a creator with a strategy in mind, or do you think that should come if you're only seeing the numbers?
The key is you need to make this sustainable. So talk about something that you really are passionate about. If it's not sustainable, you're going to run out of momentum and then eventually quit. So before you even make money, think, how can I give value? How can this be a sustainable business for me? Because, you're having fun, you're making videos, but it kind of might turn into a business if it goes well. But don't overthink it, to be honest. Just start creating content. I didn't really think about the money at first. I just thought about, let's make some videos. Let's see how it goes from there. If you create good content, the money will come. But I think it's about that. If you can really do this, if you can be consistent, not worry too much about views, the money will come, because if you're providing value, that's what matters. The the engagement between you and your following.
No, that's great advice. And speaking of sustainability, how are you making sure that you're going to be in this for the long-term game? What are your future plans? What are you planning to do with your content?
So I think the more social media platforms you can diversify to, the more secure you'll be. I'm quite aware that it's possible at any time my TikTok or my Instagram could get banned. It happens to creators all the time. So luckily, I've now managed to build my Instagram up to a level where I'm happy with it, and it's now got a bit more of a substantial following than it did have. I was on like 5,000 followers for a while, but now it's on over 100,000, which is better. So that kind of secures it a bit more. As well, just having the network of different brands that you can work with. So, I've got brands that I work on user-generated content with. Let's say my TikTok gets banned, I can just go to them and make videos directly for them while I build up my following again. Could work. But with regards to my longer term plans, I'm the type of guy that likes to not talk about what I'm going to do and just do it. But because I'm on this podcast, I will say I'm looking to, I'm in the process of doing it properly and getting into the different game of content completely with longer form content, longer form videos. Hence why I've got this proper new setup. And yeah, I've gone into business with a few things. I don't want to talk too much, but I'm the type of guy that can't sit still. So for me, it's a natural progression of, I've got the TikTok going now. While that's running and it's doing well, I'm going to move somewhere else and expand off it, because TikTok for me is more of a networking tool than anything else. It's infinitely more valuable for networking than the money I get from it. And through relationships with people, you can start making even more money. And the new stuff that I'm setting up is with new people that I've met exclusively through TikTok. So just keep an eye on my page, guys. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, definitely. And we'll link all of your pages in the show notes and everything. But that's really exciting. And I can't wait to see what you're going to get up to and who with as well. So we'll wrap up this podcast with a quick fire round where I'll just ask you 5 quick questions and you just have to answer with the first thing that comes to mind. So what's your favorite thing about being a creator?
The freedom, because you can do whatever you want, work whenever you want, and you work on your own schedule.
And what's your favorite tool to help you get things done?
My favorite tool is probably Notion.
Yeah, mine too. And what's one thing that gives you the most inspiration for your own content?
Definitely reading and watching other videos.
Nice. And one thing that helps with your work creator life balance?
Just taking time off. You just got to chill and have routines where you don't get sucked in all the time to your work.
Yeah, absolutely. And what's one piece of advice that you'd give to other creators?
Try to be as consistent as you can. I need to work on it myself, being more consistent, and think about what value can you bring and how can you bring it in the best way that's going to reach the most amount of people.
Amazing. This has been so insightful, Noah. Thank you so much for coming on. I know you probably get this all the time, but I can't believe you're 17 years old. It's just crazy. It's making me feel so behind. I need to watch more of your videos and learn what school didn't teach me.
I appreciate it so much. Thank you for inviting me on. It's been a pleasure.
Noah really shows that you don't have to be an expert to grow online. You just have to use your unfair advantage. You can find Noah on TikTok, YouTube, and Twitter, where he shares what school doesn't teach you. If you're a creator trying to move their business forward, check us out at Get Passionfroot on Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, or subscribe to our weekly newsletter, Filtered Fridays. Stay passionate, and I'll see you in the next one.